Good afternoon, stroke evening. Oh yeah, what a day that's been. Anyway, I'm here in my comfy stuff because it's now autumn and we're right into autumn, and I'm like, you wonder why I'm so excited, because the weather's dropped. Well, it's very simple, because now I get to do my autumn food that I love. Love. Now, when I say autumn food, it's the pork, the apple, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through it all in a second, but it's the comforting stuff. So if you're looking at me thinking, usually I'm pretty smart, why am I so? Because I'm in my scruffs, because I can't wait to eat this and get in front of the TV. I swear to God I can't. Anyways, let's get down to business. Right, we've got pork belly. Yep, box standard pork belly. Right, let me wash my hands. No, I'm wiping. Box standard pork belly. Now, you know when I do, here's one I did earlier and this, that, the other. This one you're really gonna have to take note of, because there's 3 stages of this pork. Right, so literally just the pork belly in a roasting tray. I've got some dried herbs here. Now, if you ask me what kind of dried herbs, it's just mixed herbs. Just sprinkle it around the baking tray and some water. Right, now I don't like to put stock in this because I'm going to build the flavours up as I go, and you'll see. Right, let me get some foil. Gotcha. Hiding in the back, the little sucker. Anyway, foil. Get that out of the way. I'm only going to put one on, but I want you to double foil it. So up to now, pork, dried herbs, cup of water, foil, oven. Right, what I want you to put it on, 190, and you leave it for 3.5, no, I'd say 180 for 3.5 hours, right? 3.5 hours. To check it, you go like that and you can still feel the fluid in it. Otherwise, just do peel one corner, do a sneaky peek. You want that liquid to stay in. Now the fat's going to render out of it, that's going to go into the liquid. There's water in this, in the pork as well. That's going to go into it, and it looks like a big slab. It's going to go, yeah? So anyway, let's get it in the oven. Okay. Tea towel. Now here's one I did earlier, right? Here's one I did earlier. Now, here we go. It's not hot, because I've literally just put the oven on, but voila. As you can see, this can get a little bit messy, right? And it can get a little bit messy, so, Jamie beeping. This hob is all right. Okay. This can get a little bit messy, so you've got to be a little bit wise here. If you get yourself some cling film, again, like always, let me just make some space. So this is like come out the oven, right? Straight out the oven. I've literally just switched the oven back on. This has been resting from earlier. Resting I'm going to tell you about now, right? Do your 3.5 hours, turn the oven off, leave it in there. Just leave it in there. That'll be good for a couple of hours, right? So even though it's like, oh, you got to wait this and got to, you don't. Stick it in the morning, come back, let it rest, right? And then you go to the next process. So it's not like you're wasting a lot of time. Now, if you pull the pork, as you can see, onto the cling film, all of this, see, just peel this back. Again, it's rested for quite a bit, so it can handle it. And, I suggest that as well. But you've got to get it while the fat is still soft. Don't do this kind of thing in the morning, because you're never going to get all that kind of fat out of it, right? Spin it over. Check there's no bones in it, or gristle, or anything like that. There's no, oh, hang on, a little bit there. Right, so now you've got a nice piece of pork. Cling film, fold it over, 1, 2, get a knife. fold up the sides. Right, now this is what I do. I put it on a baking tray, like that, right in the middle. Don't let that go everywhere. If I would have spilt that, I would have been walking through in the morning, this and going right on my back as I'm going to the coffee machine. Right, so anyway, spin it over. This is a cast iron roasting tin. It's heavy. It's about 5 kilo in it. It's a real heavy duty, real bad boy. I put that on it. Don't need any more weight, and you press it. Now this I put in the fridge. So what I'm going to suggest with that, so the pork in 3.5 hours, take it out, let it go cool, not cold, but so you can handle it with your hands, or put some gloves on, you can handle it. Scrape back all the fat, wrap it in cling film. Now you can do just 2 normal baking trays, press it. Now, what you end up with at the end of it is that. See how it's flattened? The fat's been pushed out the sides. Now, I'm a big fan of fat, and there's going to be more going into it, but this is beautiful. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. What a lot of people go on about where pork's concerned, crackling. It's like the chicken skin, we used to fight for it in our house. So we're going to get some crackling going for it. This is just normal crackling. You can carve it off the pork, because that in there is going to turn to jelly, you're not going to use it, right? So you can carve it off, and then I cut it into strips, right? Strips. You turn one side over, so the fat side, not the skin side, and the same herbs from before, give a sprinkle on the pork, right? Then we get pepper, not salt, not on this side, pepper. Give it a good lick of pepper, and then what I do is I press it in. So press it down and it sticks into the fat. See? Sticks in. Turn it over. This is where the salt comes in. Salt, plenty of it. Plenty of it, up and down the skin, plenty of it. Now this, if you put that in the oven just like that, it's going to go like twist and turn. It's going to look like a, what did they call them? Knickknacks. Remember knickknacks, the big knobbly crisps when you're kids? It's going to look like a big long knickknack. Don't do that. So what I do is get another baking tray, put it on top. Then I get my own pal, the steak weight, put it on top of that so it doesn't push the baking tray up, puts a little bit of weight on, flattens it. Put it in the oven for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And what comes out, now I know what you're going to say, that's in 3.5 hours. No. Here's one we did earlier, and here's one we did earlier. It's going to come out like that. Crackling. Yep. Crackling. Beautiful. Now, let's get back to business. We've been talking nothing but pork and crackling this whole time. Let's get back to business. We're going to do what I call a carbonara cabbage. The reason why I call it carbonara cabbage is because it tastes just like carbonara. So you're going to be having pork with apple, with carbonara and other bits and pieces. I'm going to go through the next stages of it now. The only thing I've been talking about is a pork. This is the next stages of, which I've held back on the ingredients until now. This is a little bit of butter, garlic, cabbage, fresh thyme, apple and allspice. Now, because it's apple, I mix a little bit of cinnamon in with the allspice. Just a little bit, so it's like 2/3 allspice, 1/3 cinnamon, and that works. So, as my ancestors probably said, let's get on the pans. So let's get cracking, right? Your pork's done. again, put it in the fridge overnight, you know, to press like this, right? And think about it, if you do all that on the Saturday, you've got a cracking Sunday dinner. Do you know what I mean? You've got a cracking Sunday dinner with all the meat side of it's more or less been taken out. Do you know what I mean? Because you've prepped it way in advance. Or a Saturday night tea, get on this on the Friday night or whatever. Yeah? Now, here we go. I'm going to show you now, when the pork is pressed, see, you can see all the little levels, but the fat's been pressed out of it, right? Now, I'm a big advocate for fat, natural fat. I really am. However, this, because there's going to be cream in the cabbage, there's going to be cream, sorry, one sec. Let me just get rid of this. Sorry, otherwise that'll drive me mad. You know, dropping something on the floor. I'll be trying to concentrate and do a nice dinner and that will drive me mental. So anyway, these little bits, save them. And the reason why I save them, because one of my little favourite lunches in the world is tacos. We all know that. So use these to do pork tacos. Oh, baby. You're talking. Now, again, if you just look at the levels of pork, see what I mean? Beautiful. Now, here we go. Almost ready. Almost ready. Now, because there's so many levels to this, do that, do the other. That's why I said concentrate on the pork to start with, yeah? Because you want to get that right. Now, straight away, in the bottom, some butter, put the pork in. In the other pan, a little bit of butter again. And again, it's just like a teaspoon. I can't wait for this, by the way. I really can't. I'll probably say this on every video, but me comfy gear, a few beers, and a bit of old-fashioned Sons of Anarchy with a Sons of Anarchy t-shirt. I can't wait. See, that's blessed. Oh my God. Right, so we've got the cabbage on. Now I want this to take before and what I mean by take, I mean caramelise a little bit. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But the pork is going great. Right, I'm going to need that pan lid in a minute. So the pork's going great. I'm going to need 2 pan lids. I'm so unorganised today. Honestly, it's because I've had a busy day. I just wanted to come home and have a chill. And now Vicky's like, oh, we're filming today, bro. I'm like, oh no. What do you mean? He's like, we're filming today. And I went, right, we're going to be filming my comfort food in my comfies. That's the end of it. Right, so anyway, turn the pork over, look at that. Check that out. See the caramelisation? It's going to get better in a minute. It's going to get better in a minute. Now, in the middle of it, because it's cold, it'll still be cold in the middle, right? So there's a trick around it. I'm going to see, cabbage is just starting to catch a little bit of caramelisation on it. And then I stir well in the middle of it, and in goes your garlic. In goes your garlic, right in the middle. And lid. Let it steam a little bit. Let it steam, let it do its thing. Do you know what I mean? It's such an easy. Oh, hang on a minute. Hold the phone. Salt and pepper. I thought we'd gone past this me forgetting everything bit, but honestly, salt, pepper, in your cabbage, lid on. This here, the pork, you can hear it banging and cracking in the background. See how it's took? Right. This is where it gets funky. I'm going to say funky, I do mean funky. Maple syrup. I know what you're all thinking, makeup. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. You put in 2 tablespoons. Now, you take it off the heat, give it a good swirl, take it off the heat, put the lid on it, put it out the back. Let's get on the apple. Let's get on the apple. Now, here's the thing about this apple. Well, there's a couple of things about it. First of all, a friend of mine, Miss Diane West, who lives around the corner, picked these apples off a tree. Literally off a tree. I said, Diane, didn't pluck an apple tree. Oh, no problem. I'll get you some apples. A bag like that turns up at my work at the unit. There you go, I've been picking them. I'm like, oh, need to. But anyway, I'll take them, doll. I'll take them. So, butter, brown it, in goes the apple. Right? This is just peeled, quartered apple. Right? Organic, literally picked off the tree around the corner. Which that kind of shit I love, do you know what I mean? Like, literally it's there. So, give the apple a good spin. Now you give it a crack of salt and a crack of pepper in with the apple, because I want this to be like savoury apple. Ooh, and while we're here, remember the pork? Give it a spin. Check that out now. The smells off it, oh my God. Anyway, in with the apple, we're going to stick a little bit of allspice and cinnamon, literally. Don't go boom. You need literally the tip of a teaspoon. And again, as you can see, coat the apples. One last thing, fresh thyme. Now, if I've missed some ingredients today, I do apologise. It's not that I'm under the weather. I've just had one big long day, do you know what I mean? Big long day, where you get tempted to literally scream. One of them days. So the best way of dealing with a day like that for me is my comfort food. Now here we go. The cabbage is now, as you can see, taken, steaming. Can you see? It's gone a little bit brown. Now, here's the thing about this cabbage. You take it as far as you like it. So if you like a little bit bite, stop it now. But if you like it soft, take it a bit further. I'm putting literally 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of cream in, that's it. That's where the carbonara kind of feel comes in. Now I like it so it's, how can I say, you've got a little bit of bite. So I'm going to take it off the stove, put it at the back and concentrate on the apple. Now believe it or not, we're not a million miles away. So even though there's a lot of prep work in the pork, and there is, sometimes I can't be arsed with it. Not, you know, I'm not going to lie. But every time I can't be arsed with it, then I do it, I'm made up, because that pork will feed me another, there's 2 here, you know what I mean? But I could get tacos out of it. You know, you can freeze it. You know, that what's in there, I'm going to strip it down and freeze it. So it's there for you, do you know what I mean? So, and it freezes great because of the fat content around it. You know, so, you know, you can take it out on one plate, or chop it up, tastes like you've just done it. So, you know, buy a big piece of it, big piece of it, and freeze it. Now, as you can see, the apples are starting to take, oh my God, you know what this smells like? This smells like Christmas. It's got the cinnamon, it's got the allspice, it's got, you know, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a fleck of salt, because I tasted these apples and you wouldn't believe those off the tree around the corner. They're lovely and sweet. And again, Miss Diane, thank you, doll. You're a good woman. So the pork, back to it. It's warming through gently, and now if you keep turning it in this little bit of maple syrup, just keep turning it, it goes sticker. It goes like, almost like sticky ribs. And it's one of my favourite things. Honestly, like, if there's any left over, it gets shredded up and, as I say, put in tacos or anything, do you know what I mean? Oh, honestly, I cook pork like this. If you're going to have Japanese pork, cut it in cubes, teriyaki, stir fry it in that, great. This is the only pork I do, either this or pork cheeks, which I do it as little bonbons, deep fry them in panko and things like that. But this is one of the only cuts of pork I actually cook with at home. That's it. This pork loin, things like that, yeah, you can go through all that, yeah, great, you know what I mean? Pork loin's great, but at home, getting in front of the TV with a beer, that's it right there. Do not move away from that. Do not move away from that. Excuse me, let me have a sip. We're ready to plate up. So even though the pork is a lengthy process, and it's not really, because, you know, the time in between is, do you know what I mean? But set your phone, set your times, you know what I mean? Because it really is a good thing to eat. Really is a good thing to eat. And when you've done it once, that's it. You do it over and over again. You do it without thinking about it. You know what I mean? But you can have this on your Sunday dinner, as I say, Sunday dinner, Saturday night tea, whichever, you know. I mean, with the pork that's been left over, I've done like pad thai, rice noodles, which I might do for my favourite's king prawns. But if there's some of that pork left over, stir fry that in a little bit of garlic, ginger and soy, put it on top of your pad thai noodles. What? Gorgeous. Anyway, let's get plated up. Here's me waffling. As you can see, took that off the cabbage, beautiful wafted cabbage, the garlic, it's not over creamy, the cream is just tucked to it beautifully. So here comes plating up, right in the middle, nice lump of cabbage. Now, tell me that you don't want to dive into that. Look at it. Look at it. You know what I mean? So, put that on top. In fact, I'm going to put that right under there. I'm going to plate up over there. Look at that. Look at the glaze on that. Look at the glaze on that. You know, tell me you don't want to put your face in that, you know what I mean? Around the plate, just a few nice apples. Now, by the way, you don't need a sauce in this. And the reason why you don't need a sauce is cream in the cabbage, and the moisture in that pork is beautiful, so you don't need a sauce. But what you do need is a piece of your crackling going right across the top. And that's it. That's it. Comfort food at its best. Autumn food at its best. You know what I mean? It's just delicious, you know. Nothing bad about it. You know, you've rendered the pork down, you know, you've done your crackling delicious. This, my friends, is a go-to dish. As you can see, I mean, if you got that in a restaurant, you'd be buzzing. If you want a sauce, you know, you could do a nice little cream mustard sauce, which splash of cream, whole grain mustard, just give it a drizzle. Me personally, I like to eat like that. There's enough moisture in it. So anyway, check that out. Do you know what's missing? One ingredient missing. My life is complete. Sons of Anarchy, ice cold Thai beer, one of my favourites, and that bad boy. Right, I'm going to love this. And sometimes I put a little bit of a message on the end. That's all your message you need.